Welcome to FRC Media News for Thursday, September 24th, 2020. I'm Keith Tebow. This week, the city will be working with an outside firm to find ways for its police department to work more efficiently and effectively. Fall River's jobless rate drops in August. Local veterans can soon apply to live in one of 3 refurbished apartments in Fall River. We speak with 2 Republicans running for Congress in the 4th and 9th districts, and we tell you about a virtual citywide cleanup taking place this weekend. All that and more coming up. The Fall River School Committee met last night in executive session to discuss complaints against a school official. We asked Mayor Paul Coogan about the meeting this morning during our weekly interview. The mayor would not comment on the details of the meeting, forwarding all inquiries to committee attorney Bruce Assad.
We're just making sure that all of our students, our staff, and everyone in the district happy and content, and they're safe at work. And that's the focus of the committee every year, and we're not going to come off that. So we'll see how this goes. And as I said, we've been instructed by our attorney that everything goes through him.
We reached out to Attorney Assad for more information, but as of the time of this recording, we did not receive a response. We'll provide updates on our website as it becomes available. The City of Fall River will be looking to a Boston firm to conduct a performance audit of the police department. Mayor Paul Coogan tells us the survey, suggested by a city councilor and to be performed by a company run by former Boston Police Chief Ed Davis, will provide an outside view on how the department can better serve residents.
When you do a comprehensive report like that, everyone has to have a say on what goes into it, not just the admin, not just the chief, not just his crew, but also the patrolman all the way up. I hope he talks to the mechanics. I would like to see everybody have a say in what they think we're doing well right now in the police department and what we could do better. That's the scope of something like this. We want to know if there are what areas we can improve on, and we would like someone from the outside that's looking at it in an impartial way, say, listen, you guys could do this better if you did this. And of course, we're going to sit down with our union and offer them the same kind of suggestions, and hopefully they'll bring some suggestions to the table. It's a team effort. He's merely the overseer that can say, listen, we've seen this in Lowell, we've seen this in Springfield, something they do in Lawrence. Those are the things an outside set of eyes can bring to the table.
Mayor Coogan hopes to implement a similar audit for the fire department very soon. Fall River saw a significant drop in its unemployment rate for the month of August. The State Office of Labor and Workforce Development reports the city's jobless rate sits at 14.7%, down from 20.8% in July. Last August, the city's unemployment rate was 4.6%. Fall River has the second lowest rate among cities in southeastern Massachusetts, with New Bedford sitting at 15.7%, Taunton at 14.1%, and Brockton at 17.3%. Statewide, the jobless rate is 11.3%. This week, the City of Fall River, through funding from the Community Development Agency, unveiled 3 refurbished apartments that will be rented to local veterans. The project on Bradford Avenue was overseen by the Fall River Community Housing Resource Board.
One of the most important things we can do for veterans is to give them a clean, affordable house to live in. And here in Fall River, we've been doing this for several years, and I can tell you, in talking to Mike, and I came down here when we first looked at this property, and it's really a great transition. And he always seems to be able to use some of his funds to put towards these veterans' housings we're doing, along with the mayor and everyone else in Fall River that makes veterans a priority.
The property was vacant and uninhabitable when we took it over. And I know the mayor agrees that uninhabitable vacant properties can create a kind of a cancer in an otherwise good neighborhood. I've said that throughout the years at these functions. Now the property looks terrific. It's going to go back on the tax rolls. It's going to provide 3 units of decent affordable housing. We'll be putting an ad in the local media to create a lottery. We're going to start with a lottery. There are income eligibility requirements. The ad will spell it all out, the dates, the deadline dates and everything. But we're proud of what we've accomplished here with the help of the administration and Community Development Agency.
Another milestone took place late last week on the construction of the replica Vietnam Veteran Memorial Wall at Fall River's Bicentennial Park. The first panel bearing the names of soldiers who sacrificed their lives was installed. Denise Pumaguaye has our story.
You know, in Fall River, we are blessed to have an outstanding veteran service officer who's always poised and committed to service the needs of our veterans. I proudly call upon VSO Raymond Haig to offer his remarks.
On behalf of my fellow VSOs and the entire veteran community, I'd like to say thank you to all that have made the Vietnam Memorial Wall in Fall River possible. Quote from Major Michael Davis O'Donnell. He said on January 1st, 1970, in Dak To, Vietnam, if you are able, save them a place inside of you and save one backward glance when you are leaving for the places they can no longer go. Edna was one of the first donors, and I'll always remember this, and I still have a letter. I got a short note with two $5 money orders inside the note. And I looked at it, and it was simple. It said, I hope this helps get the wall built. My husband died in Vietnam.
Thank all the members of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Wall Committee, Councilor Ferreira, President Joe Marshall, Ray Hay, and without their dedication and passion for this project, none of us would even be here today.
This goes to Joseph Marshall. This one goes to Ray Hay.
We're going to install the very first panel. To give you another...
We'll have more FRC Media News right after this.
Here are some job descriptions on the latest hot jobs list from the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center. Service Technician, Pillow, Windows, and Doors of Fall River, located at 1325 Airport Road, is looking for a full-time service technician to meet with homeowners and general contractors to diagnose and repair windows and doors. Job number 140-25501. Barista Sales Clerk, New Boston Bakery, located at 279 New Boston Road, has an immediate need for a part-time barista sales clerk to greet customers, prepare and serve beverages and food in a fast-paced environment. Job number 140-14323. Social Worker, South Coast Health System, located at 363 Highland Avenue, is seeking a full-time social worker to provide case management services independently, including application of clinical diagnostic, assessment, and treatment knowledge. Job number 140-20193. The Fall River Public School System, located at 417 Rock Street, is in need of the following full and part-time positions. High School Substitute Teacher, job number 140-20960. Boys and Girls Club Paraprofessional, job number 140-21939. Family Service Association, located at 101 Rock Street, also is in need of the following full and part-time positions. Housekeeper, job number 140-24129. Maintenance Technician, job number 140-241-30. For more information on these or other positions, visit Mass Hire JobQuest at jobquest.dcs.eol.mass.gov or call the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center at 508-730-5000.
Welcome back. 2 Republican women are making their case that they should be the ones to end the Democratic control of Congress in the Massachusetts 4th and 9th congressional districts. Julie Hall is running in the 4th District, seeking to replace Congressman Joseph Kennedy, a former colonel in the Air Force and hospital administrator. She says the federal government has the responsibility to ensure the economic survival of businesses and local governments impacted by COVID-19.
The first thing we need to do, we need to shore up this economy. We need to get people back to work. I have talked to so many business owners and how devastated they are. The restaurant business, but they want to go back to work. So we need to get them back to work as best we can. If we have to wear a mask, then we have to wear a mask, but people have got to go back for a couple of reasons. You know, it's good because you want to feel like a valuable member of society. And it's healthy. I think for people's mental health, they want to be doing something. So the government does have a responsibility in this instance, because COVID was an unusual situation. I absolutely think that the states and the local governments, and hopefully it filters down to the local government in an appropriate way. But they've got to be able to clearly define, in my mind, where those needs are. What's the most important needs that they have? And again, the needs for Swansea may be different from the needs for Newton. And so I really hope that the leaders, once this money gets to the state, takes a look at that. There's equitable and then there's fair. And I think you've got to look at what is fair for each one of these cities and towns.
In terms of immigration policy, Ms. Hall says she supports current protections for those in the DACA program, but reforms and enforcing the law are also necessities.
I do believe that people that want to stay in this country should become citizens. That I believe in. I've worked with some of the Project Citizenship over at the Literacy Center in my own town, my own city, and I've helped people fill out their application. Number one, we got to make those applications a little bit easier. So to me, I thought this way. I said, if I really feel that I want people to become citizens, then it's my responsibility to do what I can to help make that process easier. Now, when it comes to illegal immigration, and that's where I think is the most difficult in this country that we talk about. If you're, it speaks for itself. You're either here legally or on a visa or on some kind of work permit, or you're not here legally. And if you're here illegally, it's breaking the law.
Ms. Hall says she supports the police and believes in law and order. She also feels that the polarization in Washington is not shared by those who vote in the district.
People have seen the extremes and realized, hey, I don't identify with this group and I don't identify with this group. And they have moved towards the middle. I think there's a huge, if you look at when I go out and campaign, I'll give a perfect example. There's a huge number, 60% or more that are unenrolled or, they haven't declared. That tells you something, that people want the freedom to choose who they want to, because they want to vote for the right candidate. They want a candidate that they believe is going to do the right thing for them, no matter what party they are in.
Ms. Hall is being challenged by Democrat Jake Auchincloss on the November 3rd ballot. Helen Brady is looking to upset longtime incumbent Democrat Bill Keating in the 9th District, which represents the southern part of Fall River. In recovering from COVID-19, she feels the focus should be shoring up local small businesses, which in her district includes those in the tourism field.
We have to get back to business, and what people probably don't understand with the tourism industry, which is very important to this part, Plymouth and the Cape and the islands, is that a lot of those bus companies, they're owned by mom and pops all over the country. I've met with them because I used to go to the National Tour Association convention, and they would put together itineraries to visit, Plymouth, and then we'll go here and we'll go to this restaurant. I mean, tourism is such a key piece of the success of this area. But if those mom and pops don't have any federal bailouts, they didn't. They're bus companies, the airlines did. But, that's something that I would try to work with in that industry to make sure that those people are back on the road and coming back here to spend money and time and see all the beautiful things we have here.
Ms. Brady feels Congressman Keating has turned his back on local law enforcement since the death of George Floyd.
What can we do right here, which is probably give police more mental health support, not scare them and not scare people and leave communities vulnerable. You don't just throw this bill out there. Do we need certain reforms? Of course, everything needs reforms. Look at what years, again, I go back, it's 2020. But, to see what Keating did, he was a DA here. He should know better, but he's playing politics, and that's what's wrong. People have to stop playing politics. Do what's right for the district. You turn your back on your local police. I'm out in the street. I talk to police every day, different towns. They're demoralized. Young police are like, well, I think I might have to quit. I don't want to lose my home if the qualified immunity goes through, or they get rid of qualified immunity rather. So it wasn't a good idea to do that. Should that have happened to Mr. Floyd? Absolutely not. But to lump everybody in, especially the police officers in Massachusetts, they're the gold standard. They're one of the best trained forces in the country. People look up to us here. So I feel badly for those police officers in Massachusetts who feel that they have had no support.
Ms. Brady supports term limits for members of Congress and believes more must be done by new members to forge a sense of bipartisanship.
Tip O'Neill had it right, and working with Reagan, you can't have these hateful exchanges. They don't help anybody, and that's all it's turned into. It's like a bunch of babies. Honestly, it's almost like junior high, and we have to get past that. We have to get new people in office. These people have to go away. All of them. They've been in too long. It's like they won't let go. They just will not let go. Again, that's both parties. I'm not just talking about Democrats. I'm talking about Republicans. So it's time that we, as people, start running for offices, run for, local office, state, just get involved. It's our country. And look where it's going. It's not going in a good direction. It just isn't.
Also on the ballot in November is a slate of races for a number of seats in Bristol County government. 3 candidates are vying for 2 spots as county commissioner. Incumbent Democrat and former Fall River Mayor John Mitchell says, along with overseeing the upkeep of county buildings, the commissioners also serve on the board of the Bristol County Agricultural School, which is undergoing renovations with an eye toward growth.
We right now take about 125 students per class. We have an enrollment of about 460, but we did a study some years ago. We actually turned down about 300 students a year. 300 8th graders would like to go to the high school, and we have a pretty lengthy waiting list. We did a study that showed the next 60 to 70 students, those who don't get admitted, are basically on par with the students who do get admitted. And, then there's other students after them who are certainly qualified. So the commissioners and the trustees believe that we should look to expand the schools. So we're hoping to increase the enrollment probably to about 650 or thereabouts, add another 40 to 60 students per admitted class. So, that's the purpose of it. These are, young people from our county, from the 20 cities and towns who want a vocational agricultural education. We have a great success in placing students in 4-year colleges, community colleges, trade schools, and a lot of them just go out to work. A lot of them have their own businesses by the time they graduate. So it's an important undertaking, and I think when it's completed next year, we'll see it work very well with more students coming from more of our communities.
Republican Nancy Stanton Cross is looking to become a new face on the commission. The Fall River native is a local attorney who also currently serves on the Westport School Committee. She's looking to advocate for Bristol Aggie as well as bring diversity and 21st century thinking to the commission.
Bristol County commissioners have been around for 350 years. And out of those 350 years, there has only been one woman that has served on that board. And I would only be the second one if I was elected. So she served, Maria Lope, she served for 24 years. She had a long period of time, but that's only 7% of the time of county government that has not had any diversity on that board. And I think it's essential in a leadership role for, the youth, and for diversity. I think it's very important that we have a different perspective on that board. And that's why I felt that I could bring a different perspective and expand on that perspective with new thoughts and new ideas coming from where I have in the private sector, with delving into the public sector as an elected official. We're in a modern area of technology. I find that their website is, it's antiquated. It's not user-friendly. People should be able to pull up budgets. They should be able to pull up the supporting documents on agendas. I'd like to see, and I do think part of engagement is when you have a meeting that it's not an audio meeting and you actually see the people that you've elected working in government for you. I think that that's an important connection to have with people that ultimately pay the taxes that allow you to serve.
The other candidate in the race is incumbent Democrat Paul Kitchen. You can view all our interviews with the candidates running locally in election 2020 by visiting our campaign webpage, frmedia.org/election 2020. Come back often as we speak with more candidates between now and Election Day on November 3rd. We have spent time, particularly since the onset of COVID-19, introducing you to organizations in Fall River that are helping those in need. Since 2015, Angels Anonymous has been one of those organizations, selflessly finding ways to improve the quality of life of all in Fall River. They have traditionally held a number of neighborhood cleanups across the city to engage residents. Those, however, have been fallen aside because of the pandemic. But as President and Executive Director Melissa Dawson tells us, this weekend people can still beautify their neighborhood right outside their home.
We're just asking folks to kind of, take a walk around your neighborhood, pick up trash while you're walking around the neighborhood, clean up in front of your house. If you live, within walking distance to a local park or some area that could use some TLC, to just kind of take it on yourself or with your family members, just to kind of still adhere to social distancing guidelines, but to still try to at least make a difference around the city. And then we're hoping that people are going to submit their photos so that we can share it on our page and we can kind of see the impact that we've had just kind of doing it from our own home.
Ms. Dawson also says their monthly food pantry has been impacted by the pandemic while the need has grown.
Our pantry used to be a walk-through pantry where people could come right into our building and kind of pick what they needed through the food line, but because of COVID, we are now completely outdoors and drive-through for our pantry. So we've been doing the outdoor pantries now, I feel, since April, I think was the first one that we had to, just because of restrictions and guidelines with the Board of Health and stuff. So that's a huge undertaking because that involves us having to pre-bag everything, pre-box everything, coordinate our deliveries so that produce isn't going bad before delivery. It was a lot, but we're making it work. This past weekend was our monthly pantry, and we had cars. We're usually pretty packed, but it felt like there was so much more this month than we've ever seen, and I think it's probably because some people have lost their benefits. It's a lot less now than what it was a few months ago, so I think people are really feeling it, and they're hurt when it comes to trying to buy food and groceries, and they have kids at home that are learning at home, so they're feeding their kids all day, snacks all day. It's, so we definitely saw an increase in our numbers. The last 2 months, I would say, our numbers have definitely spiked. The need has we've been hearing a lot more from people we've never seen at the pantry, so we've been getting a lot of new patrons at our pantry because word is spreading and the need is growing.
Thanks go out to correspondent Brian Fraga, who conducted the interview for this report. We'll have more FRC Media News right after this.
for considering a homeless pet today. I hope you enjoy what you're about to see, and as always, please feel free to contact the shelter before coming down to make sure that the pets you're viewing are still available for adoption. We can be reached at 508-677-9154.
Welcome to Hot Dogs and Cool Cats. Today we have Donald. Donald is a 3-year-old surrender, and he's very good with cats. He came from a home with 4 other cats, and as you can see, he's got a little bit of a scraggly coat, but it's growing back. He is very, very confident and outgoing, very in your face. As you can see, he is not lacking any confidence. Because he came with a home from other cats, he's very good with other cats. He can be slightly sassy when it comes to his things or with a cat he's not quite used to yet. But overall, he's a very, very friendly boy. If you want to come to meet Donald, fill out an application at foreverpaws.com and come make an appointment with us at 300 Linwood Street in Fall River at Forever Paws.
We have here at our shelter a number of small animals as well. We're typically known for dogs, cats, that kind of stuff, but what a lot of people, it doesn't occur to a lot of people, we also get a lot of small animals, like Tiny right here. We've got she is a nice little bunny, you can see. A very big bunny, in fact, hence the irony of the name. She's a very nice girl. We also have Blaze here. A lot of our small animals end up staying here for a longer amount of time just because people, you know, they're not expecting when they come to a shelter to find small animals. People that are looking for guinea pigs, rabbits, birds, that kind of stuff, they're usually visiting, you know, pet stores, that kind of stuff for it. But there's actually a lot of small animals out there that need new homes that come to shelters as well. So yeah, we would appreciate it if you kept them in mind here too. So if you'd like to come down and meet Tiny, Comet, Sprite, or Blaze, or any of the other guys that we happen to have in here, you can come down to 300 Linwood Street in Fall River, Massachusetts at Forever Paws Animal Shelter.
That's all for this edition of FRC Media News. Please check out our website, frmedia.org, for all the latest news and information, as well as that special web page profiling candidates and the issues in election 2020. FRC Media News can be viewed Thursdays at 6 p.m. and Fridays at 5:30 p.m. For all of us here at FRC Media News, I'm Keith Tebow. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next Thursday.